43. So let's just draw this rectangle. So we have a rectangle. It has two sides that have equal length. These are both 2x minus 3. The other side also have equal length. We have 90-degree angles here, here, and here. So we also have the parameters given in this problem. P is equal to 38. So the parameter is just the sum of the lengths. So if we add all the lengths together, we'll get 2x minus 3 plus 2x minus 3 plus x plus 1 plus x plus 1. So those are all the four sides, and that has to add 38. So we'll combine like terms. 2x plus 2x plus 1 plus 1, that's going to be 6x. Negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6. Then we have plus 2, so that's minus 4 is equal to 38. Add 4 to both sides. So we get 6x is equal to 42. X is equal to 42 divided by 6, which is 7. So x is 7. So if we go back and plug it in, we'll get 7 plus 1, which is 8. This is also 8. This is going to be 2 times 7, which is, so we get 14 minus 3, which is 11. This is also equal to 11. So you get 22 plus 8 is 30, plus 8 is 38, which is what we were given. 46. Each figure has area as indicated. Find the value of x. 46 is in a rectangle. So the question is, what is x? So we have this side is x, this side is x plus 3, and the area is given is equal to 28. So the area of a rectangle is just the width times the length. So the area is equal to the width times the length. The width we'll call x. The length is x plus 3. And that has to add up to be 28. So we get x squared plus 3x is equal to 28. Subtract 28 from both sides. You get x squared plus 3x minus 28. Now this will involve us having to factor. So factoring means you have two terms. I have x as the first term because of x squared here. So x times x is x squared. Now this product has to be 28. So this times that has to be 28. And so what numbers together get 28? 1 times 28, 2 times 14, 4 times 7. And you think about, okay, those three pairs, is the difference between those two equal to 3? Well, 28 minus 1 is 27, so that's not right. 14 minus 2 is 12, so that's not right. 7 minus 4 is 3. Okay, so one's got to be 7, one's got to be 4. Now, is it plus or minus? And since the difference is 3, one of these has to be plus and one has to be minus. But the key thing is it has to end up being plus 3. So we put a plus by the larger number and a negative by the smaller number. And you see that works out. X times x, using FOIL, x squared. 7x minus 4x is 3x. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. So for this to be 0, either this has to be 0 or this has to be 0. And that happens. So what we do is we say x plus 7 equals 0, and we say x minus 4 is 0. If those are 0, then the whole thing is 0. So we subtract 7 from both sides, we add 4 to both sides. And so these are the two values of x. So you say, okay, well, let me see. So I can have two choices here. I can have x equals negative 7. Well, of course you can't, because you can't have a negative length. So this one, just by practicality, can't have a negative number. So there's really only one solution, which is x equals 4. So we can go back up here and plug those in. So here we get 4, and here we get 7. 4 plus 3 is 7. Multiply those two together, you get 28. That's right. So let's do 47. Because it's a triangle, we'll make sure we also do a triangle. So what we have there is the area is 1/2 the base times the height, which is the area of the triangle. The area is 15. The base is x. The height is x plus 1. So what we have is, let's multiply both sides by 2. So we get 30 is equal to x times x plus 1. What that did is, by multiplying by 2 on both sides, I just got rid of the fraction. Now, we multiply out the right-hand side, so we get x times x is x squared, x times 1 is x. Again, we move everything to one side, so we're going to subtract 30 from both sides to get 0 here. So we get 0 is equal to x squared plus x minus 30, which is the same as x squared plus x minus 30 equals 0. I can switch the two sides. So again, we have to factor this. So we have x. Okay, I have x because we have x squared here. Now again, we look at the two numbers multiplied together to give us 30, which is 30 and 1. 30 times 1 is 30. 3 times 10. 6 times 5. Are any of those where the difference is 1? Because we just have 1x. So yes, there are. So we put in 6 and 5. Those are the two numbers multiplied together whose difference is 1. Now I have a positive 1, so I need to put the bigger number with the positive sign and the smaller number with the negative sign. And that is equal to 0. You can check if it works out. You can multiply it out. So for this product to be 0, either this has to be 0, or this has to be non-zero, or this has to be 0, and this is non-zero. Well, so all we have to do is say x plus 6 equals 0, satisfies one solution, and x minus 5 equals 0. So we get x is negative 6, and x is 5. And just like before, we can't have a negative length. So this is the only chance that we have, the only choice, which is x equals 5. So the two lengths, one of the lengths x, so that was the base. So the base is x, and so that's equal to 5. And the height is equal to x plus 1, which is 6. So those are the two dimensions. If you multiply 1/2 the base times the height, 5 times 6 is 30, divided by 2 is 15, and you get the right answer. Okay, 49. So make sure I put 47 in here. Make sure you guys do that. Okay, 49. Each circle has a circumference or area is indicated. Find the value, x value. So 49 is a circle. Let's draw a circle. It has a radius from the center to the circle. The radius is equal to x plus 1. And it says the area, well, the circumference is equal to 37.68. What is the circumference in terms of radius? 2 pi times radius. So we get 37.68. So r, the radius, is yeah, so we can calculate the radius on just, and we know the radius is equal to x plus 1. So it's 37.68 divided by 2 pi. And pi is about 3, so 2 times 3 is about 6. 6, it's going to be around 6 is the answer. It'll probably be exactly 6. That's why they give us that 37.68. So divided by 2, divided by pi. And we get 5.99 something or other. So this is equal to 6. So radius is 6, x plus 1. So we can solve for x. X is equal to 5 by subtracting 1 from both sides. Okay, 52, similar kind of problem. We're given the area instead of the circumference. So the area is 18.0864. Obviously, they're doing that because the pi involved. Area is pi r squared, and r is also just equal to x. So we could plug that in, but let's solve it algebraically and then plug the numbers in. So if we divide both sides by pi, we get this. If you divide by pi, you cancel those out, and you get r squared, and you get a over pi. Okay, let's switch sides. So r is on the left-hand side. I always like to have the solution thing what we're trying to figure. And so r is equal to plus or minus the square root of a over pi. So we take the square root of r squared to get r, but we always have to put this plus and minus in there. Now, of course, the radius is never going to be negative, so we know that it has to be the positive square root. So let's just plug it in. So it's plus the square root of 18.0864 divided by pi. And if we plug that in our calculator, the square root of 18.0864 divided by pi is 2.4. So that's the answer, because x is also equal to r. So it's 2.4. Okay, next one is 55. So we're supposed to be doing some cost estimating. So basically what you do is you calculate the square footage or the square area and then multiply by the cost per area. Now you may be given that, or you may have to calculate what the cost per area is. So again, you calculate the area, multiply it by the cost per area. So in this case, we calculate the area from the dimensions. They also give us the cost for another area, so we can calculate that separately, and then we multiply those two together. So for 55, suppose carpet for a 10 by 12 room costs $200. So what we're trying to do is get dollars per square foot. So we're told that we want dollars. So we have $200 to carpet a room that is 10 feet by 12 feet. So that'll give us the area. So this will give us cost per area. So 200 divided by 10 divided by 12 gives us $1.67 per square foot. So that's what you get quoted usually in Lowe's or wherever you go for your carpeting, dollars per square foot. So now what we have is we have a new room, so we're going to calculate the area of the new room. So the area is going to be 20 feet, because it's rectangular, so it's just the width times the length. We usually have rectangular rooms. It's a very convenient thing. If it's not rectangular, you're probably not a very good builder. Okay, so you get 480 square feet. So 20 times 24 is 480. Feet times feet is square feet. So what we're looking for is the total cost of the larger room. So basically what we're saying here is cost is equal to area times cost per area. The areas cancel out and you get costs. So in this case, our total cost is our area, which is 480 feet squared times cost per area, which is $1.6 per foot squared. Notice the foot squares cancel out. So we get 480 times 1.67, and we get $802. So it's dollars because the feet squared cancel out and just left with dollars. And the book actually rounds it off to 800. '58. Use the logic of exercise 53 to answer the following. Okay, we're going to skip that one because we didn't work 53, so let's not do that one. So we mark that out. We're going to do 58. 61. Total area is the sum of the areas. By considering total area as the sum of the areas of all its parts, the area of the figure such as those in 59 through 62 can be determined. So basically what we have to do is we have to break these areas up into things that we know how to calculate areas of. So let me just sketch this. So we have a parallelogram which is connected to a triangle. And the dimensions, the height of the parallelogram is 6, the base of the parallelogram is 10. We also know this is 10, which would be the base of the triangle. And the height of the triangle is 4. So these are both 90 degrees. So to find the total area, we just find the sum of the areas. So the total area is the area of the parallelogram, which is its base. So we'll say the base of the parallelogram, B sub P, times the height of the parallelogram, plus the area of the triangle, which is 1/2 the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. Well, the base of the parallelogram is this, which is 10. And are the units? No. So we have 10 times the height of the parallelogram, which is 6, plus 1/2 the base of the triangle, which is also 10, times the height of the triangle, which is 4. So we get 60 plus 20. 40 divided by 2 is 20. And so we get 80. That's the total. The 62 is a little more difficult because it involves we've got a square, and then we've got 4 semicircles like this. One goes out here like that. One goes out like that. And it goes out like that. And the dimensions, they say, these are all 8, so we have a square. And we also know that this is the diameter. So 8 also equals the diameter of the circle. Now, we could find the area of a semicircle, which would be half the area of a circle, or you can think of it as these are 2 halves. So this area plus that area is equal to the area of one circle, and this one plus that one is the area of the other circle. So the total area equals the area of the rectangle, which is just the length squared, where L is equal to 8. That's the side length. Plus 2, which because we have 2 full circles, times the area of the circle, which is pi times d squared over 4. So that's the area of one circle. We have 2 of those when we connect them together. So we have 8 squared plus, well, let's cancel those. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. So if we divide the numerator and the denominator by 2, this becomes 1. This becomes 2. So we have pi times d, which is 8 squared divided by 2. And now we just plug it into our calculator. So we have 8 squared plus pi times 8 squared divided by 2. And we get 164.53. Okay. The book says 164.48, but I'll just say 164.5. And there are no units, so that's going to be the total area. Okay, so we'll do one more and then we'll stop this particular video. Okay, area of the shaded portion of a plane figure. The shaded area of the figure in exercise may be found by subtracting the area of the unshaded portion from the total area of the figure. Okay, which one are we doing? 65. So let's draw 65. So we got that, comes down like that, comes back up like that, comes back down like that, comes back up like that. So what they're asking for is this like crown. So what you can do is you can find the total area, which is this rectangle, and then you can subtract off. So what we'll do is we'll then subtract off these areas, which are two triangles. And the triangle shape, okay, we have 48 here. We have 48 there. The height is 36. And we got centimeters, so we'll make sure we include the units. Okay, and the height of this thing is 74 centimeters. So the rectangle, so the area of the rectangle is equal to 74 centimeters times, so that's the height by the width, which is 2 times 48, which is 96 centimeters. So let's go ahead and multiply it out. 74 times 96 is equal to 7,104 centimeters squared. Okay, the area of the triangle, I'm just going to do one at a time because we're going to have two of those, is going to be 1/2 the base times the height. The base is this distance, so we have 48 centimeters times the height, which is 36 centimeters. So we get 0.5 times 48 times 36 is 864. So the total shaded area is the large area, the rectangle, minus 2 times the area of the triangle. And that'll leave what's left. So we get 7,104 centimeters squared. I'm going to make sure I put squared in there. Minus 2 times 864 centimeters squared. So 7,104 minus 2 times 864 is 5,376 centimeters squared. So that's the net area, we'll call it. The net area meaning what's left. 5,376, correct answer. Stop for right now.